Dear students, I have come with a new module, tabulation. So, first we will see what is the definition for tabulation. A.M. Tuttle defines tabulation as a statistical table is the logical listing of related quantitative data in vertical columns and horizontal rows of numbers with sufficient explanatory and qualifying words, phrases and statements in the form of titles, headings and notes to make clear and full meaning of data and their origin. So based on this definition, I am going to explain the module. So the features of tabulation. We have seen that tables are used everywhere, even in newspapers, TV channels, everywhere. Whenever they want to give importance for some information, they will put that in the form of a table. So table will attract the attention of readers. It's not like reading one paragraph. Immediate attention. It will catch the attention of viewers. So that is the importance of tabulation. So there are certain things we have to remember when we are doing tabulation for the statistical data. So features of tabulation, first point is condensed form of presentation of data. Instead of putting it as a group or a number of observations, we are giving specific numbers. We are forming that. This from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. These are the frequency values. That meaning this many people will come in that group. That meaning you will get an idea about that. Second point is arranged to highlight the salient features of the data. If you see the COVID deaths every day, so that they will show that previous day's record and today's. So it's easy to compare. Then helpful in analysis and interpretation. Profit values of companies. They will show the comparison. So the quarterly results or yearly results, they will give side by side. So it's easy for comparison. Data is systematically arranged in columns and rows. So columns are there and rows are there in a table and it's systematically arranged and we are preparing based on certain rules. Now rows are horizontal arrangement and columns are the vertical arrangement in a table. Classification is the first step in tabulation. So we have classified the data, then we are moving to the second stage, that is the tabulating the data. From tabulation we will go for computation. So that is the sequence. Now objectives of tabulation. First one is to classify the objectives of classification, to clarify the objectives of classification. What are the objectives? You will give a proper title, marks of students, height of students, weight of students, profit made by the company. So the objectives of that presentation will be made clear with the title. Second is to highlight the characteristics of the data. What you want to highlight? If profit is declining or profit is increasing, that you can highlight. Then third point is to present information using minimum space. You don't have to give any explanation. The numbers can speak for themselves. Fourth point is to facilitate further statistical analysis and interpretation. So this tables only we are using for further computation. Advantages of tabulation. Simplifies the data. We are not seeing the words. We are seeing only the numbers. Then it's economical. You can save space. You don't have to waste time for that. You put the values in the proper form, then everybody will get an information from the table. Then helpful in comparison. Profit figures, loss figures, manufacturing figures, advertising budget. Anything you want to compare, you are using tables for that. Facilitates computation. I told you, from the table only we can do the computation. So tabulation is very important in statistics. Helps in reference. We are giving table numbers and we are quoting that wherever we are doing our research work or wherever we are using this table, we are using this reference. Helps in presentation and interpretation. From the table, we can say that refer this table and this is the interpretation and analysis I am going to give. So like that we can help in the presentation and interpretation. Now I am going to explain the distinction between classification and tabulation. The first point is the sequence. 3 points are there. First is the sequence. Classification is the first step and tabulation is the second step. And if you see the method, data is classified according to the characteristics, marks, height, weight, temperature, all these characteristics, profit, manufacturing values, all this. Whereas classification, data is systematically arranged in rows and columns. We are presenting it in a proper form. Third point is the process. Classification is a process of statistical analysis. Classification is related to statistical analysis, whereas tabulation is the process of presenting the data in a suitable form which we are using for computation. Now, limitations of tabulation. So there are limitations also. A table contains only figures and not description, only the figures. So if you want to get any additional information, you have to read something. All of a sudden from the table you cannot get more information. You will get a glimpse of that, or you can get some idea about that, but not the complete details. Second one is requires specialized knowledge to understand the information. Those who are educated, they will get more information. But if an illiterate person will look at a table, he may not get much information from the table. Third is a table does not emphasize on any section of the particular importance. We cannot highlight things. We are giving the table. Whereas if it's COVID death or something, if you want to highlight, we can use that. We are using red color or different ink we will use for that to highlight that. But this is not happening always. We will present the data in a table form, and from there we have to get an idea. But when we are using for research or for highlighting or for presentations and all, sometimes we will highlight the values in the table. Now, what are the essentials of a good table? First one is it should be attractive. If it's too lengthy, so much information is there, nobody will look at the table. It should be with the manageable size and it should be attractive. The second point is very important, manageable size. Small size, and whatever maximum you can communicate, that you have to communicate with the help of the table. Third point is its comparison. You are able to compare the information of industry-wise average or performance of different companies. So comparison. Then fourth is made as per the objectives. Whatever the objectives, I told you objectives will be always mentioned as the title of the table. So objectives should be achieved by presenting the data in the table. Fifth is scientifically prepared. We have some common sense we have to use when you're preparing the table. That's very important. There are no hard and fast rules, but we are using our common sense in preparing and presenting the data in the proper form. Then next point is clarity. Whatever you want to communicate, it should be clear. From the table, whoever seeing the table, at a glance, they should be able to get some information from that. When we watch the TV channel, we will get that. When they're putting a table, we will get some idea immediately. So that is the meaning of clarity. Now, one thing I want to tell you that I told you, tabulation, we are using common sense for doing the table. So you have to remember one quotation is there that will explain what are the things we have to do when we are doing a tabulation. So Professor A.L. Bowley, he was a famous statistician and he has authored many statistical books also. So his definition is that in tabulation of data, common sense is the chief requisite and experience is the chief teacher. So when you are doing tabulation problems, 5 characteristics they will give. How you are going to explain that in a proper table. That you have to use your common sense. There are no hard and fast rules. So that is how he has explained this. We have to use common sense in preparing the table. Now, how we are going to do that? As a concluding remarks, I want to tell that no hard and fast rules for tabulating the data. That I already told you, you are using your common sense, 5 characteristics or 6 characteristics. How we are going to do that? That's very important. Second point is, presenters should have a clear idea about the facts to be presented and highlighted. Number of deaths in Bangalore city. That is, if you want to communicate, you should see that what are the causes for death these days. COVID death will be there, accidents will be there, other diseases will be there. So what you want to present? So that should be clear. So based on that, the presenter should have the idea, and based on that he should present the table. So then it will be more meaningful. Third point is arrangement of data requires familiarity and considerable care. You have to be continuously doing that. Whatever data you are getting, when you do the problem also, you should remember that. You should have to work out more and more problems. Then you will get how you can properly arrange the data in a table. So that requires your skill in doing the table properly. Fourth is relationship among the variables should be emphasized. Different relationship, blind, non-blind, male, female, literate, illiterate. So when you are getting so many characteristics, how you can fix that in the table, that you have to decide. Fifth point is tabulation requires skill, experience and common sense. So that is more important. You need your skill in preparing that. You need your patience in preparing that. Or you need your experience. You should be thorough with that. You have to do more and more table with different characteristics. So then you will be an expert in doing the tabulation. This is what I want to communicate with this module, and thank you.